Let's hear it for Tony Guerrero and West Coast Sound.
Hey, thank you very much. Thanks for joining us on a beautiful summer's day here in Newport Beach, the birthplace of jazz music. It did feel a little silly driving over here in a Hawaiian shirt, but the music we're doing tonight, thank you for being with us. The music we're doing tonight is sort of an homage to an era of jazz that was kind of birthed out of Miles Davis' Birth of the Cool in the mid-'50s, but the West Coast sort of took what he did and added a little bit of surfside coolness to it. And so there was this whole era of musicians and music that came out of really like kind of the beach towns, like Hermosa Beach, the famous Lighthouse Cafe, which if you saw the movie La La Land, that was the club that they focused on there. That was where all the jazz was coming from here on the West Coast. And by the way, Ryan Dragon was in that movie on that stage in, right? He was Rachel McAdams. And artists like Shorty Rogers and Chet Baker and this whole school of kind of cool jazz that came out of that time. And it was often characterized by little horn ensembles with tight little arrangements. And so that's what we're going to try to do tonight. These are all original arrangements for this group, and we hope you enjoy the music tonight. That last song was called Bernie's Tune. I don't remember who wrote that. It was written by Bernie something, right? Bernie? If only there were a way to look this stuff up.
Siri knows.
We'd like to do a song now that was also written by somebody I can't place for some reason, but it's a very famous tune called On Green Dolphin Street. Oh, see? They like it.
Famous songs by obscure composers. Now we're going to play Misty. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Green Dolphin Street. So when I first put this book together, I did a bunch of new arrangements and threw them in, and then little by little, as I would come across other arrangements that would fit the band, I would put them in the book, sometimes without having heard them before, but I would just trust the arranger and who the song and who the arranger was and think, oh, that's supposed to be good. So we're going to do one of those now. So it's an arrangement I've never heard. I sure love the tune. It's a classic called Body and Soul, so let's just all pray we all like the arrangement as well. This was arranged by Jim Martin, who is a big band arranger out of the Midwest. And beautiful tune called Body and Soul. Maybe. Look at us rehearsing in front of everybody. Oh, yeah. So it's for everything. All right, here we go. Let's just play it.
That's all. I'm going to give you 4 beats to the double bar.
Yeah, it's a pretty arrangement. Jim Martin's rendition of Body and Soul. Hey, we had a request for a song that, Dave, are you prepared to pull a song out of your magic box over there?
I have more parts for it.
That's okay. We had a request from Lauren to do her favorite Dave Tull song. And what Lauren says goes, because she writes the checks. So, you know, Ryan is kind of a big deal because he was in La La Land, but as it turns out, Gary Matsumoto and I are now going to be on an episode of 911. So, right? So much for you, being cool. Yeah, you are yesterday's news, buddy.
All right, there, this should work. Send that over.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to let Dave Tull introduce this tune as our gift to Lauren, wherever she is. She probably already left, didn't she? Yeah, she did, because I don't hear her anywhere. Oh, there she is. Hi, Lauren.
Should I write a tune about people who request tunes and then leave before you can play them? No, we'll get to that another time. This is a tune that all jazz musicians will appreciate, and a good audience like we have here at Campus JAX also will appreciate, because it's all about that person who sits right in the front row and talks through the whole gig. And it's just as annoying for the other audience members as it is for the band members. So here's You're Talking Too Loud.
Let's see. Oh, there's a verse on the front, isn't there? Yeah, I've got to remember. Let's see.
I remember it now. Haven't sung this in a minute. I met my buddy at the club to hear the jazz band swinging. The first set, we talked kids and work when my cell phone wasn't ringing. The second said we swapped some jokes and had some good guffaws. The band was great, I guess, so we gave them some applause. But when we rose to leave, the singer handed me a note. And though I was quite drunk, I'll not forget the words he wrote. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you're in a club to hear jazz melodies, but your laugh sounds like Tarzan calling out from the trees. If you're booming like a thundercloud, you're talking too loud. If you have to shout every word that you say, so we're all forced to hear the details of your day. If you're being glared at by the crowd, well, you're probably talking too loud. The band trying to play never gets in your way. You just tell your joke that much stronger. You sit right down front, you spill your drink, you laugh so loud your face turns pink, then wonder why the band breaks keep on getting longer. You're in your own world, not a thing we can do. You're not even aware that I'm singing about you. A mix of ignorant and proud. Don't you know you're talking too loud? Okay. The band trying to play never gets in your way. You just tell your joke that much stronger. Well, you sit right down front, you spill your drink, you laugh so loud, your face turns pink, then wonder why the band breaks. Keep on getting longer. You're in your world, not a thing we can do. You're not even aware that I'm singing about you. A mix of ignorant and proud. Don't you know you're talking too loud? Oh, you're talking too loud. Yes, you are. Oh, you're talking too loud. Da, da. Matsumoto, yeah.
All right, Terence, I hope you got the hint. Dave Tull right there.
To have a request
Dave
like
Tull.
that coming from the venue operator.
Dave Tull, which album of yours is that on?
That is on the I Just Want to Get Paid album.
The I Just Want to Get Paid album,
Yeah. There's only two.
which is a ridiculous title for somebody who chose a career in jazz. I made a mistake when I put my book together because there's a song called 4, and when I numbered all the songs, I should have numbered it number 4, because that would have been easy, but instead I numbered it number 9. So guys, if you would pull out number 9 in the books, we're going to play 4.
I suppose 720 in the books is probably something else too. Take 5.
And that's number 9 in the books for those of you who brought your hymnals. Hey, by the way, I don't have a special song for you, but I just want to acknowledge that it is Helen's birthday. She's right over here. And can I tell them how old you are? Because you told me, so I'm assuming it's okay to tell everybody. But she's celebrating her 82nd birthday tomorrow. We don't have a special song for you, but you do get to take Mark Visher home. So. All right.
It's so true.
No, really, he does need a ride home, so. Okay, this is Miles Davis' tune. This is our arrangement of Miles Davis' song called 4, which is number 9. But it's in 4/4.
It's in 4/4.
called Four by Miles Davis. Hey, we'd like to do a song now by Shorty Rogers. This is number 2 in the book, guys. It's called Three. No, it's number 2 in the book. So I have a Shorty Rogers story that I like to tell because I never really got to know Shorty Rogers, but I did get to meet him, and the story of how I met him is really special to me. So I used to play at a club when I was about 17 years old. I got out of high school and I started going to jazz clubs around town whenever I could sneak in because I wasn't old enough. But I used to go to Cafe Lido in Newport Beach. Anybody remember that? I know somebody over here does. And I'll just go on a rabbit trail here, but my friends over here brought matchbooks from when they used to come see me at Cafe Lido, and they have the dates of those nights on them, and she just gave those to me. That's great. So Cafe Lido was this great venue, and it was run by a guy named Joe Speranza, and Joe was a trumpet player in his youth, and so he took a liking to me and let me in long before I was old enough to be in the room, and eventually let me start playing there. And at one point in the late 80s, I had like every Friday and Saturday night was mine. And one night I found out that Shorty Rogers was going to be playing there on I think a Sunday afternoon. And I was so excited to see him because I'd never seen him live. I certainly knew who he was, but I wasn't able to go because I had already had a gig up in like Camarillo or somewhere really far away. And so, now this is all before GPS and all that, but I did realize that I could make it back maybe in time for the last 15 minutes of his set. So it was totally worth it for me. So I remember just hauling down the freeway trying to get there. And as soon as I walked into Cafe Lido, Shorty Rogers was literally standing at the door, saw me walk in, and he goes, "Tony!" and just opened his arms and like gave me this big hug. And I had no idea what was going on because he didn't know me. And it turned out that Joe had told him how much about me and how much I wanted to be there. And I had called Joe earlier to say, "Hey, I'm going to try to make it down. How late are they going?" And he had told them that I was on my way and about what time I'd be there. So they were on a break, and Shorty just sat there and waited for me to come in. And I was so touched by that. And if I were smart, I would have had the photo to show up here, but we took a photo at that moment. And just a really sweet man. Did you ever get to work with him? Yeah, he was a very sweet man and just a brilliant musician and arranger and flugelhorn player. And we're going to do a song of his now that he wrote called Just a Few. I know. Well, I made it up. None of it's true, but it's a good story, but it's not true.
What's that? That old Jack Shelton, he said, "I'll never forget what he said when I walked in the door." He said, "Get out of my way."
Yeah. Actually, if you want to see some great Shorty Rogers, there's a Frank Sinatra movie called The Man with the Golden Arm, in which he plays like a junkie. Back in the 50s, a black and white movie, and he auditions to be in Shorty Rogers' band. It's so great. And unfortunately, that one was true. All right, here we go. You count up? 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, just a few by Shorty Rogers. And look, I got the picture up there. That's me on the left with that long mullet. You can't even see how glorious it is in the back. But that's Shorty Rogers. That's the old Cafe Lido, but that's Shorty right there. Thank you, Tim, for I texted it to him during the song. And I'm not a very tall person, so you can see why they called him Shorty. I mean, I was much taller then. Hey, I had a conversation. I don't remember if any of you, maybe you were there, but we were talking, me and somebody else a few days ago, we're just talking about how there are a lot of great local female jazz singers, and I won't even start naming them because, one, you know most of them, and two, I don't want to leave anybody out, but there's so many great female jazz vocalists and not a whole lot of male jazz vocalists in town, and certainly we have one of the best right here in Dave Tull, if not the best, right? Right? Is that what you told me? Is that? Yeah. You are a better male vocalist than the females are. Yes, that I can grant you that. But we also have another guy who I saw walk into the house, and he's here with us tonight, and that's Jack Wood, who's right over here. Is he still there? And without even asking him or ahead of time, but I'm just going to ask Jack if he'll come up and sing a tune, because one of the things about Jack is that his style of singing also comes right out of this West Coast jazz vibe. And so if you wouldn't mind coming up and doing a tune with us, would you do that? Yeah, right now, yeah. So I don't know what we're going to do. So he will just let us know what he's going to do. And let's. Golden, can I give him Terence's mic here? And
Turn it on.
it's on. It's on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my good friend Jack Wood.
Thank you very much. Actually, I was booked here last May. Tony was in the band. We had a 7-piece group, and we hope to be back again. But isn't this a wonderful club? This is just amazing. The wonderful job they're doing here. But anyway, we're going to do It Had to Be You. It had to be you. It had to be you. I wandered around and finally found somebody who could make me be true, could make me be blue, or even be glad just to be sad thinking of you. Some others I've seen might never be mean, might never be cross. I tried to be boss, but they wouldn't do. For nobody else gave me a thrill. With all your faults, I love you still. It had to be you, a wonderful you. It had to be you. That's a wonderful band. Thank you very much. Yeah, how about that, huh? Man. How about that? It had to be you. It had to be you. Well, I wandered around and finally found somebody who could make me be true, could make me be blue, and even be glad just to be sad thinking of you. Well, some others I've seen might never be mean, might never be cross. I tried to be boss, but they wouldn't do. For nobody else gave me a thrill. With all your faults, I love you still. It had to be you, wonderful you. It had to be you. It had to be you, wonderful you. Had to be you. Oh, it had to be you. Thank you so much. You know, what a wonderful band. Aren't they terrific?
Thank you, Jack. Jack Wood, ladies and gentlemen. Jack Wood. He really would. Thank you, Jack.
Number 11.
So one of the leading voices in this era of music was the great trumpet player Chet Baker, although he was from originally, was it Oklahoma? I think he was born in Oklahoma, but he really made a big splash with the West Coast jazz movement and we'd like to do a song from his catalog. And in fact, there was a movie that came out in 1988 that was kind of a documentary. It sort of followed him around, him and a lot of hangers-on. And the name of that movie was Let's Get Lost, and that's the name of the tune we're going to play. But I'm going to tell you my Chet Baker story first, all right? I do not have a picture. I never met Chet Baker. Now, here's the deal. I'm not much of a swearer, but in order to tell this story, I have to swear. Is that okay? All right, especially on stage. It's so declassy. I'm playing a role. No, I'm telling a true story. It's a true story, and it has to be, I have to swear in order to tell the story. So I got to play in Ukraine many years ago, and we were playing similar music to this, and I was playing the whole night, and there was this gentleman sitting at the bar who I could see, and I don't know that he ever uncrossed his arms or took the scowl off of his face. Like, there was not an ounce of emotion coming from this guy's face. And at the end of the night, he came up to me, and he like just came right in my face. Again, no expression, nothing. He just said, "You sound like shit." I'm like, "Sorry, what?" And he said, "You sound like shit." I'm like, "Oh, geez, I'm sorry." And he said it probably 3 or 4 times. "You sound like shit." And I finally just said, should I try to get your money back, or can I buy you a drink? And the last time he said it, he goes, "You sound like shit. I love shit Baker." Thank you. True story. Now, lest you ever hear that story from anybody else, there is somebody in town telling my story. But that happened to me. It happened to me. It happened to me. Yeah, I know. Mark has always said that, but never followed up with the last part of the sentence. We're going to do Let's Get Lost from Chet Baker's songbook. Thank you, right? Yes. Oh, I did. She just said, "I'm so glad it turned out well." Thank you. Let's get lost. Another song, I have no idea who wrote it. I'm a walking encyclopedia of jazz knowledge. Here's a song I know. I know who wrote this one because I did, although I kind of didn't. I sort of wrote it after somebody else wrote it first, which I'll explain now. So it's called plagiarism. In college, we were assigned the task of taking an old standard and writing our own melody to it, to the chord changes from that, and this was the one that I did. I chose the beautiful song by Thelonious Monk called Round Midnight, and I wrote it. He's not here tonight. And I wrote a song that I just called Monk, and I wrote some really awful lyrics to it, but no, I can't sing. No, I can't. Don't ask me to sing. But we're going to play a little instrumental version of it. It always kind of stuck with me, so I kind of like it. It's a little takeoff on the chord changes from the Thelonious tune, Round Midnight, and this is called Monk. You're right, it's not plagiarism, it's a contrafact.
Yeah, that word was made up by some academic person. But anyway, that's what that is.
Okay. Well.
Was it you, Ryan?
The good news is I haven't made a dime off of it, so yeah.
No royalty.
Thank you very much. It's kind of cool, right? He asks, looking for reassurance. I got an A. Thank you. Number 50, guys. Wow, this night's winding up. I know exactly what tune we're going to end with, and it's one of Dave Tull's tunes. Oh. All right, here's another song that was arranged by... Oh, I arranged this one. Sorry. Wow. What do you know? What do you know? All right, this is one of my favorite tunes to play. This is called There Will Never Be Another You. That's a good song right there. And an equally good arrangement. Wow, these nights go so quickly here. We're up to our last tune, I think. What? We're not? No. It's weird. That is so weird. Well, it's going to be hard to follow up this tune, I can tell you that much, because it's about the most appropriate end of a gig song I can think of. And it's written by Dave Tull, who happens to be playing drums tonight and is going to sing on this next tune, Mr. Dave Tull.
Thank you.
But before we do that, how about once again for the rest of this band, that's Mr. David Miller back there on the bass. Gary Matsumoto on the piano, or something that looks a bit like it. Mr. Ryan Dragon on the trombone. Ryan La La Dragon. I'm surprised that hasn't stuck. On the saxophones, that is Mark Visher right there. And once again, Mr. Dave Tull is going to lead us out on this next song to close off the night. It's called I Just Want to Get Paid.
Thank you. Thanks for letting me, close out. You have an encore, right? You're going to do like,
We do have a Miley Cyrus medley arranged for 3 horns that, if the audience insists.
You can do exit music. All right, we're going to do this. By the way, if anybody knows anybody in Las Vegas who likes jazz, please tell them to come. I'm going to be leading my trio in Las Vegas tomorrow night and Saturday night at a place called Vic's in Las Vegas, which you should actually take your group to, because they do jazz. I'll tell you how it goes.
All right, please do.
So anyway, call all your Vegas friends and say Dave's desperate to have people come out soon.
All right.
Everybody okay? All right.
Well, I'm a sideman musician. I've worked with every kind of band. But after all these years, there's still some things that I can never understand. Like, why do people bother clapping when they've been talking all night long? Wasn't the last song about that same thing? Okay. I'm just doing a lot of whining here. Why do they have to ask their questions in the middle of a song? But of all these things, the one I truly dread is when band leaders, that's you, Tony, just point that out, make me haggle just to get my bread. 1, 2, 3, 4. I just want to get paid. You can't forget about the deal that we made. I get my money when the gig is complete. But now it's time to write checks, and you're dragging your feet. It's late, and I'm starting to fade, and I just want to get paid. I just want to get paid. I took the gig despite how badly you play. Then you made it your business to keep turning around to give me gems of advice how to work on my sound. I almost walked, but I stayed because I just want to get paid.
I'm right here, buddy.
Well, I packed my things at the end of the bash, and I've been waiting to hit the street. But when I tracked you down to get my cash, you said, just put your address on this sheet. Oh, no, I just want to get paid. Your little story just don't make the grade. Your checkbook's at home, and there's no cash here. But you've got plenty of dough to pay for all of that beer you've been sucking down like lemonade. I just want to get paid. my things at the end of the bash, and I've been waiting to hit the street. But when I dragged you down to get my cash, you said, just put your address on this sheet. No, I just wanna get paid. Your little story just don't make the grade. Your checkbook's at home, and there's no cash here. But you've got plenty of dough to pay for all of that beer you've been sucking down like lemonade. I just wanna get paid. Well, the gig was so long and the breaks were all short, but now we played the last song, so the ball's in your court. I'm standing here jingling the keys to my car while you rap with some chick at the end of the bar. The club owner hands a stack of 20s to you, but now you need a whole week for his check to go through. And what about that tip we made? I just wanna get paid. You know I love to play my music, even if it has to be with you. I'll give you everything I've got each night, and my demands are very few. Just don't treat your side musicians like some possession that you own. Say the same thing when we're working that you told me on the phone. But still sometimes before the gig I've prayed, and I've said, Lord, Lord, please just let me get
Dave Tull, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being with us tonight. Once again, Mr. Terence Love, to bring the night to a screeching halt.
Let's hear it for Tony Guerrero, West Coast Sound. Brian Dragon over there, Gary Matsumoto, David Miller, Dave Tull, Mark Visher, and Tony Guerrero. Let's hear it for one more time. Want to remind you, upcoming this Sunday night, the Irvine Barkley Jazz Band with Leah Booth will be here. Next Thursday night, Judy Wexler, wonderful jazz vocalist from Los Angeles. And then on the 15th, the Cal State Long Beach Jazz Vocal Ensemble featuring Christine Gooder. On the 22nd, Andrea Miller will be here. On March 2nd, Crystal Lewis will be doing her show with Tony Guerrero's Friends. Big band, right?
Uh-huh.
Mark gave me that cue, by the way. And then on the 22nd and 23rd of March, the wonderful Keiko Matsui. Go to campusjax.com.
I'm going to add one to that.
Yes.
It's a little ways away, but you should get your tickets now because you're all familiar with the Manhattan Transfer. They just wrapped up their entire career with a 50-year anniversary tour, and they are all done. The Manhattan Transfer is done, but Cheryl Bentine will be here on May 30th, and I believe Dave Tull will be playing drums with her.
Great. Also, let's hear it for Golden over there on sound. John on the other end. Jack Jasper and Tim Ellis. Take care of your servers. Thank you very much. Drive safe. We'll see you next week.